Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 116. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics being released the 16th of April, 2014, beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Superior Spider-Man number 31, Series Finale, The End of an Era, A Tale of Triumph and Tragedy, The Green Goblin Unmasked, A Hero Reborn. But what does this mean for Otto Octavius? There's only one man who can save us from Goblin Nation, Peter Parker, the one true Superior Spider-Man. Now, I'll admit the end of issue 30 made me actually verbally say wow out loud to myself, but series editor Nick Lowe says, quote, "If you thought that number 30 was exciting, I can't wait until you read number 31. It's a jam-packed story with incredible moments. There are people who can't wait to have Peter back. Those people are going to be thrilled. But then we've gotten so many letters from people who don't want Superior Spider-Man to go away. They've really embraced the book and kind of love Ock as Spidey. Even if you didn't think you were hungry for Peter Parker to be back there, you're going to realize it as he moves through the story. It's terrific stuff, and Dan just proves again why he's born to write Spider-Man. Most of the setup from number 30 is to set up the finale. There's stuff that happens in the next issue that sets up stuff and amazing, but for the most part it's to blow Superior out. It's to give it the biggest crescendo, and having just read number 31, it completely nails it. Superior Spider-Man number 30 is incredible, number 31 is even better." Close quote. He went on to say, quote, "It's not very often that creators get to have a final issue of a series on their own terms. That's something they have been building towards since the very beginning. Superior, when it started, they didn't know how many issues it was heading for, and it was the kind of thing that exploded in success and popularity, so they expanded the story. The amount of amazing stories that Dan threw in there, working with Stephen Ellie, is a testament to that skill. But usually when a series ends, it's canceled, so you have to quickly wrap up and find an ending, or you're stopping a volume and starting a new one. It's rare that you're seeing through the story you started, especially in superhero comics. That is that to a T. This is the Dan Slott symphony that is coming to a grand finale. Getting to be on this side of things to see the frantic conducting has just been really fascinating as an editor, and I feel very lucky." Close quote. At number 2, we've got Uncanny X-Men number 20. Cyclops and his revolutionary X-Men take on S.H.I.E.L.D. They get closer to finding those at S.H.I.E.L.D. responsible for the Sentinels that nearly killed them, but find themselves in even greater danger. Executive editor Mike Martz, who oversees the X-Men titles at Marvel, spoke about working with series writer Brian Michael Bendis. Quote, "I think both Uncanny and All New really have distinct identities and have no problem standing on their own, especially when comparing them to the other Marvel Universe or X-Men titles. The fact that Brian Bendis has been able to use one book as a way of re-examining classic characters in a new modern way, and the other as a forum to discover new mutants and try to work for Xavier's dream is pretty astonishing, no pun intended. It really says a lot about Brian and the others working with him that they can create 2 books like that which really stand out and stand on their own. It's funny, in Brian's first decade at Marvel, he spent so much time with Spider-Man, the Ultimate character, and the Avengers characters, so I think that for a long time readers figured that Brian just wasn't interested in the X-Men, but that was so far from being the case. He has an extreme knowledge of the X-Men. He has a lot of respect for the stories that came before. He knows them in and out and frontwards and backwards, so he's able to pull from the classic canon and take advantage of what's come before, but at the same time he succeeded in taking the franchise in exciting new directions that I don't think any reader would have expected." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Batman number 30, 0 Year Savage City Begins. Series writer Scott Snyder shared his concern about the structure. Quote, "I was worried that fans would think it was self-indulgent or drop it after 3 or 4 issues, but I really felt it was the only way to do the story in this modular way where it would look like it was very long, but it would be very fast-paced. 4 issues in the Secret City section, 4 issues in Dark City, and then 4 issues in Savage City element, where everything is overgrown and post-apocalyptic. I kept thinking, God, we have to just go for it and do it the way it's supposed to be done. I'm sure the sales will go down terribly. DC was very generous with us, and luckily the sales have been great. The response has been good. I feel so deeply, deeply grateful to the readers of Batman for letting us do this and being supportive." Close quote. He described the 3rd act of the story, quote, "Basically what Riddler is saying in this arc is, I've taken Gotham and I've just sped up the circumstances of our time. There are dwindling resources, the economy of the city is running on fumes, it's flooded, nature has reclaimed it, there's global climate change, flooding, superstorms, terrorism. Let me just turn the city into a microcosm of all the things you should worry about all at once and make it look post-apocalyptic. And now you have to show me you're smarter than me, and I'll believe that when you'll be able to figure these things out. But become smarter, Gotham, become more like me." In that way, I feel the challenge is very poignant, at least for me personally. You can look at it symbolically. Why do you matter right now? How are you going to save the city when it's facing these circumstances that are emblematic of the kinds of challenges that we all face today globally? How are you going to show me, if I can't figure it out, that you're smarter than me? In a way, he's created a death trap that's really totally narcissistic and about him, but also speaks to some of the things that Batman and the city are afraid of now. It makes the city this nightmare that I feel is very contemporary." Close quote. At number 4, we've got Batman Eternal number 2. A notorious Batman adversary appears for the first time in the New 52 continuity. Series co-writer Scott Snyder shared his thoughts about the weekly book. Quote, "You can never have enough Batman. I was sitting around thinking what could the world need more of, and I thought to myself, Batman on a weekly basis. To be honest, it took some convincing for me to be a part of Batman Eternal. I'm really content with what I'm doing on Batman, and I'm also trying very hard this year to manage the return of American Vampire as something that is top priority for me alongside running with Batman, and making it as big and strong as I can with Greg. Taking on anything like this on the side, I had to ask myself, do I really want to do this?" The way I got enticed was DC approached me and James Tynion and said, "We want you to do this book and we'll give you creative control of its direction. You can come up with a big story or a small story or anything you want and with whichever characters that you want. And you can bring a team of writers that you get along with to write it and basically build Gotham while Batman is in 0 year so that when he returns there's a status quo that you can dive right into." That really excited me because I knew what was coming in Batman after 0 year. There's some big game-changing stuff, and it would take me a year to come back and set it all up. But if I had this huge comprehensive series on the side that allowed all of my friends that I've invited in, people that I really admire, to come in and work on and do their own takes on that story and to explore the different corners of the story that builds towards the story we're doing in Batman, that would be great. It quickly became about being able to do the most comprehensive epic Gotham story that we're capable of in a format that will allow us to make it really, really exploratory and bring in a bunch of characters that you just don't have room for in the main series. Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Hulk number 1. All new direction. The epic Banner DOA begins now. Following the shocking events of last month's Indestructible Hulk finale, Bruce Banner lies at death's door. If he survives, it won't be as the Bruce Banner we've known. How will the Hulk wreak vengeance on Banner's assailant? How can he? Series writer Mark Waid described the new direction, quote, "Not much I can say without tipping my hand, but let's say that Banner's in a very bad way physically as the series opens up a few hours after the end of the previous one, and you'll be surprised in whose hands his life rests. For the time being, Banner and the Hulk will be divided in a way we've never seen before on a long-term basis, and those who are eager to see the Hulk once more be his own character will be very pleased, I think." Close quote. He went on to explain, quote, "Banner really has to decide once and for all what he wants, how he wants to get it, what he's willing to sacrifice, and why he wants to follow his career path, and the answers will really shock you. They shocked us." Close quote. And he concluded saying, quote, "Get ready to learn a lot about Bruce Banner that you never knew, and get ready to see Hulk start doing something that we've never seen." Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Justice League number 29. The crime syndicate couldn't kill him, but will Grid destroy him? Cyborg heads directly for the syndicate with the Metal Men at his side, but can Vic Stone stop his cybernetic half? And how will this battle against the most brutal and evil beings in the universe change Cyborg and the Justice League? At number 7, we've got Amazing X-Men number 6. Nightcrawler's back at the Jean Grey School, but when Mystique comes calling, he may be returning to the afterlife very soon. At number 8, we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 3, who is the Phoenix Corporation. At number 9, we have X-Men number 13, Bloodline Part 1. Jubilee is haunted by Shogo's past, or is it his future? And at number 10, we've got Solar Man of the Atom. This all started with an accident. An all-new corner of the Gold Key universe, flooded with experimental radiation that grants him unbelievable powers, the brilliant and obsessive Dr. Phil Selesky seeks to unlock the secret of the universe, begrudgingly becoming a hero along the way. But can a single man be trusted with near-limitless abilities? What will this mean to the ones he loves? And will his choices lead to utter chaos and destruction? Brilliant writer Frank Barbieri of Five Ghosts and Joe Bennett present the Man of the Atom as you've never imagined. For the best of the rest this week from DC Comics, we have Batman and Wonder Woman number 30. The quest for Damian's remains takes Batman to Paradise Island and into direct conflict with Wonder Woman. Next, we have Birds of Prey number 30. As her teammates fall, only Black Canary stands between the utterly helpless Mother Eve and Ra's al Ghul. If she stands aside, her husband will be saved. If she refuses to fold, everybody else will die. What can she possibly do? And we've got Harley Quinn number 5. Sure, Harley has made some enemies along the way. So what happens when a bunch of them show up to kill her dead? She kills them right back, of course. You've been warned. This issue contains violence. From Marvel Comics, we've got Ms. Marvel number 3. The all-new Ms. Marvel has already gained international fame. But in Kamala's case, star power comes with a whole lot of awkwardness. Find out why the most exciting new Marvel hero is also the most lovable. Next we have Nova number 16. Sam's adventure with Beta Ray Bill in space comes to a shocking conclusion, and Sam arrives home to a very unpleasant discovery. No, it's not the Statue of Liberty on its side. We've also got Ultimate FF number 1. The Future Foundation is all that stands between us and complete and utter doom. Sue Storm, Tony Stark, Machine Man, and Sam Wilson face the oncoming. A mysterious new member will join their ranks, whether they like it or not. Hint, they'll not. And we have What If Age of Ultron number 3 of 5, Twilight of the Marvel Universe. In a world without Thor, the Norse end times of Ragnarok take the lives of every superpowered being, leaving only the unpowered heroes of the Marvel Universe behind. Assembled under the leadership of Nick Fury, these powerless defenders are all that remains to defend the planet from the Midgard Serpent. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got the Star Wars number 7 of 8. When Princess Leia falls into the hands of Darth Vader, General Skywalker, Anakin Starkiller, and Han Solo must go on the offensive against the Galactic Empire. But they have a secret weapon on their side, one that the Imperials have vastly underestimated: Wookiees. From Dynamite Entertainment, we have $6 Million Man Season 6 number 2. Steve Austin is back in action with an all-new issue of classic Bionic adventure. A government conspiracy has led to the closure of the Bionics program, forcing Oscar Goldman to reassign his most valuable agents and scramble for options. Without Rudy Wells' constant maintenance and upgrades, it's only a matter of time before Steve and Jamie's bionic technology runs down and ultimately fails. NASA scientists study the otherworldly entity enveloping the Venus probe, while a strange alien hybrid takes its first steps on Earth and begins sowing the seeds of conquest. And while Steve faces a dangerous Russian wilderness to uncover the secrets of a new Cold War technology, Maskatron faces off against the $7 Million Man. Welcome back to the age of bionic action and the return of the original $6 Million Man. From IDW Publishing, we have Star Mage number 1 of 6, Part 1, Darien. J.C. De La Torre, author of the critically acclaimed novel Ancient Rising, gives us a new fusion of science fiction and magic in Star Mage. In issue 1, Darian Connors discovers he's not from Earth, has strange magical powers, and is the key in an ancient war between two alien races of necromancers. Like Harry Potter meets The Last Starfighter, Star Mage offers wizard battles with a side of spaceship warfare, alien worlds, and weird creatures. From Image Comics, we've got Morning Glories number 38, Everything We Love. And from Valiant Comics, we've got XO Manowar number 24, Prelude to Armor Hunters Part 2. Who or what is the man called Malgam? Eric of Dacia, a 5th century warrior bonded to alien armor and transplanted to the modern day, is now the most important weapon in the arsenal of Marrow, the top secret American intelligence organization that monitors extraterrestrial life on Earth. In order to protect his people, Eric must undergo dangerous missions in space, but nothing can prepare him for the stunning secret that awaits him in the stars. The march towards XO Manowar number 25 and the coming of the Armor Hunters continues here in an essential prelude to the Valiant Universe event of 2014. Out in trades this week, we have Star Wars Volume 2 from the Ruins of Alderaan trade paperback. The Rebels' covert ops go on the offensive as Princess Leia sends 2 of her top pilots, Wedge Antilles and Luke Skywalker, to be captured by the Empire. Meanwhile, Leia takes off on her own to locate a safe haven, but Darth Vader is on the alert. Collects numbers 7 through 12 of the ongoing series. Next we have Joker Death of the Family trade paperback. The Joker makes his horrifying return in these tales from Batman number 17, Catwoman 13 and 14, Batgirl 14 through 16, Batman and Robin 15 through 17, Nightwing 15 and 16, Detective Comics 16 and 17, Red Hood and the Outlaws 15 and 16, and Teen Titans number 15, plus pages from Batman number 13, Batgirl 13, Nightwing 14, Red Hood and the Outlaws 13 and 14, Suicide Squad 14 and 15, and Teen Titans 14 and 16. We've also got Superior Spider-Man Volume 5, the Superior Venom trade paperback. Flash Thompson, the Secret Avenger known as Venom, is back in town, but will his first run-in with the Superior Spider-Man be friendly, or will Flash sense something perilous about Peter Parker's presence? And as Otto Octavius takes another big step in his life as Peter Parker, could a big part of Flash's life be coming to a close? Will he be Venom no more? As Cardiac returns, MJ faces her fears and a new Goblin is born. The one question everyone will be asking is, who is the superior Venom? And after half a century, don't miss one of the most cringeworthy moments in all of Spidey history. Guest starring the Avengers, plus Blackout wants to reestablish his reputation by killing the Superior Spider-Man, and to do so, he targets Aunt May, collecting Superior Spider-Man number 22 through 26 in annual number 1. And we have Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2 hardcover. Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum, and John Byrne took a little reprint series called X-Men and turned it into the all-new, all-different Titan that conquered comicdom. Now you can experience the thrills and excitement of their classic tales from the Dark Phoenix saga to Days of Future Past, and so much more in this enormous omnibus, including the debuts of X-Universe mainstays Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, the threat of Mystique's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Magneto's return, Wolverine's first solo story, and a rare Savage Land adventure, plus the original ending of Dark Phoenix and a host of bonus stories. Collecting X-Men number 132 to 141, annual number 4 and 5, the Uncanny X-Men number 142 to 153, Avengers annual number 10, Marvel Fanfare 1 through 4, Marvel Treasury Edition number 26 and 27, Marvel Team Up number 100, Bizarre Adventures number 27, and Phoenix The Untold Story number 1. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.